Hello my friends, Paul here in the RoJoBe Music Workshop, and welcome to part 3 of the Honda Rebel 500 front brake pad replacement. Okay, so first episode things went smoothly up until I was struggling to get the new brake pads into the caliper and the retaining pin in, and I ran out of time on the video timing, so I did that. I finished that bit off camera, got the brake pads into the caliper and the retaining pin in, and then in part 2 I replaced the caliper onto the disc, or rotor as some people call it, and proceeded to tighten up the bolts. And for some reason the bolts didn't seem to be tightening, and then they started to seem to go looser. I thought, oh no, please don't let me have stripped the threads out in the bracket. But as I continued to try and tighten them, one of them literally snapped off. So I realised that I hadn't stripped the threads. The bolt actually snapped, and luckily I did manage to get the piece out. So there's the head of the bolt, and it snapped off from there, and I have managed to get the rest of the bolt out. Otherwise it was going to be an absolute disaster. And the other bolt, once I took the other bolt out, can you see how in the middle, just there, it's thinner? So this one was about to break as well. So that's the other bolt, and that one was just about to snap as well. So what I've ascertained from that is that these are shear bolts. They're designed to break if you use them or tighten them more than once. And I know why. It's so that amateurs like myself don't try and do these jobs ourselves, and we take them to Honda and get them to do it. So these bolts are only designed to be tightened once. If you try and do it again, this is what happens. I mean, it wasn't just one faulty bolt, because you know the other one was about to break as well. So these are shear bolts. So like I said, I managed to get the piece out that had broken off, which was really good. And what was even better was that I found in my stash of hardware, I have these bolts, which are the exact same thread, the same thickness and the same thread. What a relief. Now, these are very, very, how can I say, redneck. Because they're not actually bolts, they're little threaded bars, and I've got 2 nuts locked together and a washer, and it's the same on both of them. So, this is not ideal, but you know, it will get me mobile. So I'm going to use these and again try to torque them up to spec, but I will have to order some more bolts. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to go about that yet, but you know, because these are going to be temporary. I don't think these will be, you know, up to standard, but they will do the job for now. And like I said, I'll have to try and get some more proper bolts. Gonna have to do a little bit of research on that, but like I said, this will get me back on the road, so these will do for now. Right, so let's try once again to put it all back together. Hopefully this time it'll work. Yeah, I'm quite disappointed with Honda doing that, but there you go. I'm sure all of the manufacturers do it. So, right, I've got it. Now, just to explain, I don't know how well you can see it, but these are the 2 bolt holes where those bolts go. Through the holes in the forks here, and then into this bracket on the caliper, and the threads are in there. Now, once I've got the top bolt out here, because this one had broken off inside, and there was a bit of it sticking through the hole, I couldn't get it off. I couldn't get the caliper off. You know, this lower portion here, this is the ABS, part of the ABS mechanism, and that was, you know, up against the ABS plate, cog, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. So it was catching on that, and I could not get the caliper off because of that broken bolt inside. So what I had to do was this ABS ring here, I had to remove the bolts from that, and then so that it was loose and I could pull it sort of away but not off, allowing me enough room to get the caliper off. And then, using a series of pliers and mole grips or vice grips, I got hold of the end of the bolt. There was enough of it sticking out that I could turn it out, and I got it out. So that was one relief, and then the other relief was finding these, I'm going to call them bolts, that I have that are the same gauge and the same thread. So fingers crossed this will work. Now this bracket on the caliper, I'm guessing it's aluminium, I'm not sure, or an alloy of some sort. So it does surprise me that, you know, the torque is so high, and I am worried. I've got to be honest, I am worried that it could still strip these threads out. But I don't have any other choice, I've got to try it. So, crawling around on the floor is not my favourite thing to do. Right, so let's have a go at putting this back together again. So I've got all the caliper back together, the pads are in there, I've got the retaining bolt in the bottom but not tightened up yet. So let's see how this goes. Fingers crossed. Yeah, as I said, this setup is very redneck, but it will do for now. And they're threading in nicely, so provided these don't snap like the original bolts, and I don't strip the threads out in the bracket, hopefully, he says, we should be okay. So let's just get both of the bolts in, finger tight for now. Okay. Right, so this time I'm going to sneak up on it with the torque settings. I'm going to start at 5 Newton meters, which is practically nothing. Right, so I'm going to start at 5 Newton meters. See how we go. Right, so here goes. Doesn't seem right again. That's only 5 Newton meters? Really? That doesn't seem right to me. It does not seem right at all. Really not happy about that. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm going to take a chance and go up to 10 Newton meters. Yeah, I don't like how that feels at all. Do not like that at all. I mean, it might be just that the nuts are still tightening together, but I don't know, that doesn't feel right to me. So I'm going to go up to, I think it's 13, yeah, 13 for this retaining bolt. So we're on 10, so we need to go up to 13. Get that one done. Really, I just don't know what's going on here. I've got a feeling we're going to have the same problem again with this. Oh, there we go. What's going on there then? I think actually what it might be is the lower setting on this is not so accurate, but I don't know, that seemed a bit weird to me. Okay, so that's 13. I'm actually going to, seems counterintuitive, but I'm just going to slacken those off a bit and do it again. Because I'm not happy with that at all. Okay, that's that one. Okay. Right, so this is set at 13 Newton meters, so let's see what happens. There we go, click. Yeah, different size. So I've got two 13s on there, I've got a 13 and a 14 on here. It's just what I had. Click, okay. Right, so now let's take it up to 18, which is what it should be. So that's 15.